Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tendie, if you don't already know. If you're new to the fam, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, and if you're already part of the blessed fam, welcome back to Bonnet Chronicles episode 3, where it's just random thoughts with me. So I'm bringing you another bonnet. Honestly, this is just a bonnet that one of my really dear and close friends gave me. So yeah, today I've already come with like my lights, natural beat. I'm not gonna be doing my makeup today, I'm gonna be doing my hair. So there we go. So I have my hair in twists. I removed my cornrows like earlier on, so I just want to put it into like a low, like small bun and just chat with you guys while I do that. Well, hopefully this multitasking might just work out because yeah, you know how we struggle. But today, like, I just woke up with this on my mind, and it was really, and I had a weird dream as well. Like, yeah, you guys are gonna hear a lot about some of the things that go on with me. I'm not gonna say what it was because it's about a friend and I haven't told them about it yet, but I'll tell them about the dream. But anyway, it got me thinking, especially seeing the whole like Quavo and Saweetie thing, that the altercation and everything that's been flying all over the internet. I think it just really made me feel like talking about like abusive relationships, be it like romantic relationships, friendships, or sometimes even between like siblings or parents and children, whatever it is. And I was just like, maybe we should talk about it. I guess I'll say I'm really blessed that I haven't had to experience like an abusive relationship that really left me like traumatized, like physically or anything like that. So I'm really grateful for that. So I guess I can't really come from a place of like experience, but my own personal observations and stuff like that. So these are like my random thoughts. I'm not an expert. It's just what I think. It's just my opinion. This is a disclaimer, okay? So I think I noticed that usually, before a relationship becomes like physically abusive, it starts like with the emotional abuse, the psychological abuse, the verbal abuse mostly. So I think these are really things to like watch out for, to just test where your relationship is going. If you're having those kind of arguments where you really end up like physically, like you're hyperventilating, feeling palpitations is like this intense feeling of like you feel your heart beating out of your chest. If you're feeling that way, you're getting really angry, you get what I'm saying, you're actually stressed out physically after the argument or during the argument, you're losing your temper. It can indicate that however you guys are resolving conflict is becoming abusive and really stressful for you. So given that said, I don't think it necessarily means that it's time to leave the relationship, but I think it means that establishing good communication is very important, like in any kind of relationship. And I think all this should be based from love, because I feel like with a lot of relationship, it's like we use love as the fallback, oh yeah, you go in, you hurt your partner with your words, you degrade how they look and everything like that, and then you fall back on the fact that you love them. And we expect people to just get over it because there's love. But I think love should be the center of it all, not in the background, or not like the fallback point. Like if you're trying to make your partner know something, you should let them know in love. You should be sensitive to their feelings, all these things, not to just be so reckless and careless with how you deal with them, because of course now you already know that, like, I love you and I care about you, you fall back on the love, like. And man, it's actually so crazy because I feel like a lot of people find themselves in abusive like situations, and they still tolerate them for whatever reason. For some people, there's that like financial dependency thing. They can't really leave because, you know, like they don't have anywhere else to go. But there's also people who can leave, but they stay for other reasons besides like financial reasons. Okay, you feel like, oh my gosh, I really love this person, they're gonna change, we're gonna go through it. But I want you guys to know that the moment you tolerate certain behaviors, you teach people that it's okay to treat me this way. That's what you teach people by tolerating certain behaviors, that you know what, you can behave this way and there's no consequences for it. You don't get to lose me as a person if you don't change. So there's no motivating factor to change. So I think like it's important, you know, to make people know that, you know what, you will not tolerate certain behaviors, and you will have to be really disciplined to also follow through, you know. And another thing, like, I feel like we need to be worried about more than just being the victim of any kind of abuse is to become the abuser. Because the more you tolerate, it means the more you're desensitized to abuse. It will be very easy to become the abuser. Like, I've watched a lot of like true crime stories about like, you know, all these serial killers and murderers and things like that. Like, and always like in their background there's like a lot of like abuse and all that going on, you know. And then eventually they become the abuser. So I feel like the more you expose yourself to abuse, the more you're exposing yourself to becoming an abuser. So sometimes if being a victim is not motivating you enough, you know, to leave an abusive situation, I hope this will, that you might just turn into that person. You will become abusive too, you know, if you keep tolerating abuse, whether it's verbal, because it will become like physical and stuff like that. And I also want to say, like, women, like, I just believe that one person's rights should not be violated at the expense of another person's rights, right? So as women, because, you know, obviously physically men are more powerful, they can do more harm if they, you know, attack us like physically. It doesn't make it okay for us to attack men physically, and they are expected not to defend themselves. Because okay, a man should never hit a woman, which is great, but a woman should never hit a man either. Like, I'm just like, fam, if it's getting to that point where you need to start to inflict violence or pain or something like that, it's time for a timeout. It's time for a clock out. It's time for a break. It's time for you to just chill out, you know. My hair is so dirty, but I don't know. I want to wash it over the weekend, not today. Oh my gosh. Give me a second. Anyways, like I was saying, guys, like, the moment you tolerate abuse, be careful that you become the abuser. And I believe that nobody's rights should be violated, you know, and nobody's rights should be observed at the expense of somebody's rights. Let's just do what is right, and fairly so. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna use a bit of gel. See, I'm the laziest person on the planet, like, especially with my own hair. You know, I was also thinking about like hyper bonding. I feel like it can be an indicator if you want like a litmus test on whether like your relationship could use work before it becomes, you know, abusive or violent and stuff like that. Like, if you guys are constantly in a hyper bonding phase. I learned this hyper bonding thing from one of the YouTube channels that I watch, where after something traumatic happens, like a couple are in this state of like this euphoric love and everything like that. It usually happens after something traumatic happens. And if you're constantly feeling like the highs are really high, the lows are really low, that could be a sign that things are actually going left, you know. So you need to to take note of that if you're consistently in a hyper bonding phase with your partner. You know, things might turn violent. If you're feeling like now you need to defend yourself physically, you're so frustrated to the point that you want to shake somebody, you know, you want to do something physically in order to deal with something that is emotional. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's say you have an argument about something and you feel that they're not hearing you to the point that now you want to shake them physically, now you want to hit them for them to understand or something like that. Time out. You need a time out, okay? So guys, like, I think a lot of things boil down to communication, establishing communication routes, you know, learning about how other people like communicate and how they receive love, and all these other things are very important. I feel like some people are just like evil and they want to inflict pain on other people, and then some people are like victims of circumstances. But I think encouraging each other to learn good ways of communicating, and to also know that there are consequences to action. Your partner should know that if you lay your hands on me, you're gonna lose me. Then, you know, I think people will not be doing the most out here, fam. Like, if you're gonna do that, you know, I'm gonna leave, like I'm gonna go, and you have to be brave enough to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have to endure a lot, you know, of abuse, whether it's verbal, emotional, mental, you name it. So guys, like, please watch out for the, you know, for the red lights. Whenever you are feeling too angry that you can't communicate effectively anymore, take that time out. And it's okay to find a mediator if you people cannot see eye to eye. I feel like a lot of people like shy from that because obviously you don't want other people in your business and stuff like that. But it's okay to find like a mediator or to rationalize, because sometimes they help the other person to get your perspective, because when you're overwhelmed with emotions and stuff like that, you can't really express yourself very well, right? And then things can go left from there. That being said, like, I believe that, you know, nobody should ever lay their hands on anybody else. Like, that is not right. I do not believe in it, and I don't stand for it, whether you're a male or female. So check yourself, man. Check yourself. Ladies, don't be provoking these men. Gentlemen, don't be provoking these women. Like, this is how you have like passions, what's it called, crimes of passion and things like that. They don't happen to like people on the TV or people out there. This is how it starts. It just starts with frustration. It starts with the verbal abuse and, you know, emotional abuse, and eventually someday somebody's gonna snap. So I really wanted to talk about this, and I hope that you guys, you know, think about this, you know, help out a friend who might be in need, help out a friend who might not be realizing that things are actually getting really bad in their relationship, and, you know, they might need better ways to resolve conflict and things like that. I just had this, you know, on my in my head, and I wanted to share it with you guys today. I'm just gonna let my hair like sit for the gel to just lay and stuff like that. Please take care of yourselves, guys. Make good choices, you know, be respectful of each other, communicate well, try to communicate well. Take that time out when you're feeling really angry or frustrated. Find somebody to mediate, you know, conflict and help you resolve, and make good choices. Please take care, and make sure that you like, you subscribe to the ting, and you share with your friends and family. Like, I think that they might enjoy one of the few things that we discuss here. Okay, peace and bye. Take care, guys.